Okay, hey guys. I actually haven't done a video in a long time, at least not a live one. Um, I think I'm gonna try to start doing them again, as I think it's important to kind of build my YouTube channel back up. It's been a while since I've actually had a viable one. I wouldn't say things have changed too much just because I haven't had it, but I think it's about time that I got back on the horse and built it up. So this is my first live video in a while, and today I kind of wanted to talk about the gun setup. So I've been working on the gun setup extensively. I've tried to automate the process as much as I could, and I think I've done that generally for the most part for everything. About the guns in general, you've got the Gun4IR, you've got the Aimtrak, and then you've got the AE gun, which is the newest one on the block. But generally, those three basically set up the same way. You've got a USB ID, which basically has to register with whatever programs you want to run, either Demul shooter or I guess maybe the plugins that PS1 or PS2 uses. And then you've got the Sinden, which is actually a true-to-life camera gun. So with the camera gun, you need to run the software. So generally, fundamentally speaking, I would say the Sinden is, I guess, the most different of the four types. And I went through and I've tried to automate the process. I'm just going to get rid of that. But generally, there's two, I guess maybe three areas that you want to kind of focus on when setting up the guns through my drive. And the first one is going to be the Demul shooter. So let's just go into the tools folder and Demul shooter here, and then we're just going to run the GUI. And I don't actually have a gun hooked up right now, but what I can do, just to kind of show proof of concept, is go in here and let's just change this to 8888, and then this one to 9999, and then we're just going to resave. So you can kind of see the changes that I've done live. So generally, the first thing you want to do is you want to go set up your Demul shooter, and that's just as easy as running the GUI, picking your guns, making sure they work, and then saving your settings for players 1 and player 2. And when that is done, what you want to do is you want to go into the user tools folder, and you want to run the master control panel. So when you go into the master control panel, you can actually see the various settings here. For each light gun, you've got Aimtrak, Gun4IR, Sinden 1 and 2, and then you've got Gun AE. And generally, like I said before, 3 of the 4 guns are pretty much the same, so the settings aren't going to be really all that different. And then, so say you wanted to set up, you've got 2 Sinden light guns, you would just hit that, and then you would click OK. It would just kind of give it a second. It would say you are now configured for the Sinden light guns. And what that did here is it actually copied in a bunch of files that are stored in the rocket launcher lib folder. And it copied the profiles contained here, and it copied them into the user tools folder, which is here. So, I mean, if you go into Hot D now, there's a plugin. You can actually see that it launches when the game launches. For the gun software is going to launch just before the game software, and that way it kind of registers with it. And then there's a script here that runs the border. Oh, not for this. There's a script that runs the border for MAME, as well as like Model 3 and a few others. Since this is Model 2, it actually uses Lewis scripts, so it's all kind of done for you. But anyway, just to kind of show proof of concept, let's go back here and let's load the Aimtrak, and we'll go back into the same file, and now we've got reload it. Yes, it should be gone. There we go. So yeah, it just loads it like you would any other gun through Demul shooter, and it would just kind of load that way. So that's generally how that's going to work. Also, on the MAME side of things, if you go down to MAME, you go in here, and you look in the CTR alpha. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go into MAME. You go into gun, because generally you want to kind of split them up. You go here. You've got all your different configurations, and what it does is it just copies it in, and you can see it here. This is your standard PID 160102, etc. for the Aimtrak. So you can kind of see that the gun settings have been implemented for the various emulators as per gun. The other thing is that I wanted to show off is I made a script the other day, and essentially what that did is if you go into here, you go into the Demul shooter folder, you're going to see a script up here that says import gun IDs into PS1 and PS2. So just kind of going into the config file here, let's actually just change this again. 7IY8. Let's just put a bunch of 7s actually, and then save, and then this is just going to be 8888987 just something random L, and then we're going to save it here. And what this script does, it actually imports the IDs contained in your config INI, which is part of your Demul setup, and it imports it into the PS1 and PS2 configuration files. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run it, and you can kind of see it moving, right? It's actually copying. But if you go into the emulator folder and you go down to EPX, which is going to be your PS1. If you go into the what folder? I think it's what ISOs. No, not ISOs. Where is it? Plugins. You go into plugins. You can see that the file here, 1047, it was just copied. And you go in here and you can see the weird ID. Or if you close it here, you go in here and you can see the other one, 888987, whatever. And this basically does this for the entire list. This actually hasn't happened yet. Here, just keep refreshing. You can see it here. It's actually a different ID, but if you close it, it's timed to kind of take its time. So, oh yep, it's almost done. So time crisis should be changing right about now. There we go. And then you can kind of see the new ID here. So this is going to go through and do this for both the EPSXE emulator and the PlayStation 2 emulator, which is PCSX2. And it's going to be the same thing. INI is here. Wait, no. No, it's going to be this one. Sorry. The INI is here, yeah. So if you go into Crimson, you can actually see the timestamp, 1049. You go in, you get the same ID, and Gun4IR file. Yeah, you can see the weird ID there. Anyways, that's going to be my video for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, just moving towards eventual perfection with you know, the gun setup, and that will work with anything. Also, if you have like a larger, I guess, drive setup, it'll also include the Nintendo Wii games. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully in a couple of days. I want to start rolling them out like 2 or 3 a week again. It's going to end this.